Picture this. It's a frozen Danish longhouse in 865 AD. A breathless messenger bursts through the door, words tumbling out like blood from a fresh wound. The four sons of Ragnar Lothbrok freeze mid-motion. Sigurd Snake-in-the-Eye grips a small blade, casually trimming his nails, until the news hits. Without a sound, he drives the knife deeper, carving through flesh to bone, blood welling up as if the pain is the only thing grounding him. Across the fire, Bjorn Ironside crushes a carved bone chess piece in his massive fist. It shatters with a crack that echoes like breaking fate, shards embedding in his palm, crimson dripping steadily onto the table. No tears, no roars, just raw, silent fury igniting into something unstoppable. This wasn't mourning. This was the spark that launched the Great Heathen Army's merciless revenge. The fuse lit by a king's cruelty was now burning toward total annihilation. Before we descend into these brutal chronicles of vengeance and empire building, if the unvarnished grit of history grips you, smash that like button and subscribe to Reinvoke History for more tales pulled straight from the shadows. Comment below, where in the world are you joining us from? It's wild how these ancient blood feuds still pull us together across oceans and centuries through pure shared hunger for the truth. To grasp the scale of this rage, understand the insult that provoked it. King Ælla of Northumbria didn't merely execute Ragnar Lothbrok, he humiliated him. Stripped of armor and dignity, the legendary raider was hurled into a pit writhing with venomous snakes, left to die slowly, his glory mocked. Ælla believed he'd crushed a threat. Instead, he birthed monsters. The sons weren't grieving, they were arming. No sobs, only swift organization. Messengers raced across Scandinavia, summoning warriors from every fjord and island. Feuds dissolved, mercenaries joined for free. This wasn't plunder, it was eradication. Every soul complicit in Ragnar's torment would pay in screams. Late 865. Anglian lookouts stared at a nightmare horizon. Not a handful of longships, this was an armada. Hundreds of dragon-proud vessels slicing the mist, a floating invasion force carrying thousands. Warriors, smiths, families, horses. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle calls it the Mikkel Heer, the great host. Not raiders vanishing with loot, but conquerors intent on claiming soil, scorching fields, toppling crowns. Leading this tidal wave, not hulking Bjorn or stoic Sigurd, the strategist, Ivar the Boneless, carried on a shield, legs useless, mind razor sharp. Sagas debate his nickname, brittle bones, cartilage weakness. Whatever the truth, his intellect commanded loyalty his body couldn't. While brothers burned with fury, Ivar calculated. Direct assault on Northumbria, suicide. He chose cunning. He landed in East Anglia first. Terrified locals faced demands. Horses. Ælla's kingdom was distant. Mobility was key. King Edmund complied, thinking tribute bought peace. Ivar wintered there, feeding his army in English grain, drilling riders, gathering spies. Fear percolated north like poison. Ælla waited, dread compounding. By spring 866, the host transformed, mounted, provisioned, lethal. Northumbria was fracturing. Ælla, usurper who slew Ragnar, warred with deposed Osbert. Civil strife blinded them to the approaching storm. Autumn 866. Ivar struck. Mounted columns thundered north, bypassing villages, targeting York's Roman walls, the northern heart. Timing, November 1, All Saints' Day. Nobles, clergy, commanders gathered in cathedrals, unarmed, praying. Defenses thin. Vikings breached gates amid hymns. No prolonged siege, just swift slaughter in sacred spaces. York fell before sunset. Ivar didn't raise it. He fortified Roman defenses, stocked supplies, turned it Viking stronghold. He waited on Ælla's throne, bait set. 4 months of humiliation passed. Ælla and Osbert finally united, swallowing pride for survival. March 867, Palm Sunday, combined Northumbrian force assaulted York. Initial breakthroughs, gates stormed, cheers rising. They poured into narrow streets, believing victory near. Ivar had surrendered walls deliberately. The trap closed. Vikings swarmed rooftops, side alleys, sealing avenues with shield walls. English numbers became a liability in claustrophobic urban hell. Spears useless, axes and knives in close quarters carnage. Panic spread. Osbert fell, trampled. Ælla, realizing the breach was his cage, tried fleeing, blocked by Danish iron. Dragged down, stripped, chained in blood mud. Battle ended. Silence fell, broken by dying moans. Ælla wasn't slain immediately. Mercy was off the table. Dragged to York's great hall, he faced Ragnar's sons. Bjorn loomed like executioner. Ubba toyed with his axe. Sigurd stared unblinking. Ivar reclined on furs, legs limp, eyes alive with glacial hate. Questions came soft, intimate. The pit, the snakes, Ragnar's cries. Ælla forced to relive dishonor. No ransom, no exile. Ivar signaled. Guards hauled him to a nearby ridge, visible to army and survivors. The ritual, blood eagle. Victim staked face down. Executioner, perhaps Ivar or chosen expert, sliced back along spine. Skin peeled like parchment, exposing muscle and ribs. Hammer and chisel severed ribs from vertebrae, crack after crack. Ribs bent outward into grotesque wings. Lungs pulled through slits, draped over bones, fluttering with dying breaths like a crimson eagle in flight. Salt rubbed in wounds for agony. Shock or collapsed lungs likely ended it, but Vikings saw screams denying Valhalla. Ælla died not warrior, but sacrifice to Odin, symbol of dominance. Body left as warning. Revenge incomplete. Ælla dead. Northumbria puppeted. Army turned south. 869 back to East Anglia. Edmund, who gifted horses, faced reckoning. Captured near Hawksna. Ivar tested Christian faith, submit or die. Edmund refused. Tied to tree, archers volleyed, not quick kills. Arms, legs, torso pierced repeatedly. Chroniclers, body like hedgehog, bristling arrows, blood from countless wounds. Edmund prayed unbroken. Ivar, impatient with martyrdom, ordered decapitation. Head hurled into thorns, denied burial. Message clear: no deals, no mercy. By 874, 2 kingdoms fallen. Mercia next. King Burgred saw fates of Ælla and Edmund, blood eagle, hedgehog. He fled to Rome with gold, abdicating without fight. Vikings took the Midlands unopposed. Only Wessex remained. Ælla's torturers gone. Vengeance evolved into conquest. Great Heathen Army redrew map, forging Dane law, Viking law, customs, place names enduring. Ragnar's death birthed a hybrid culture, Anglo-Saxon evolution under pressure. Yet Ivar vanished from English records post-869. Annals of Ulster name Eamar, king of Norsemen in Ireland and Britain. Same man. He built Dublin Empire, slave trade, sieges like Dumbarton Rock via starvation. 873, died of hideous sudden disease. Body betrayed him. Folklore claims transport to England, coastal mound curse, bones guard against invaders. 1066, William the Conqueror, hearing legend, unearthed and burned remains before Hastings. Superstition or saga, legacy endures. Revenge succeeded, torturous slain, kingdoms shattered, but it birthed Alfred's resistance, England's forging. Sons avenged father, yet chaos birthed a nation. If this gripped you to the end, you're hooked on real history's edge. Confirm subscription to Reinvoke History. Helps revive these epics. See you there.